And welcome in everyone once again high above the vet. JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia along with you on this chilly evening here in Somerset. And Carter, it's good that we all get to warm up inside in this big matchup for the Somerset Berkeley Raiders.
Yeah, I've watched this West Bridgewater team, and I would say it's going to be a tough test for the Somerset Berkeley team. It's definitely not going to be a cakewalk.
It will not be a cakewalk indeed. And Carter, despite the size difference between these two teams, we saw it in warm-ups. West Bridgewater can hit from distance, and that's going to be something they're going to need to do if they want to beat the Raiders tonight.
No matter the sport, size can't really dictate how a team's going to play, and I think this Bridgewater team probably has a lot of heart, and they'll see what they can do against the giants of Somerset Berkeley.
The 9-1 Raiders get set to face off against the 4-3 Wildcats. Carter Sylvia and I will take a break as we head down to the court for the national anthem and player introductions. We'll be right back here on SB Blue Raider Studios and Somerset Access TV. Back inside the Veterans Memorial Gym, also known as the Vet. JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia with you for SB Blue Raider Studios and Somerset Access TV. And Carter, if the Raiders are able to grab this win tonight, which we're only about halfway through the season, they're going to clinch a MIAA state tournament berth. How important is a game like this for this home squad?
It's very important, John, because you want to make the state tournament as early as possible so you can begin preparing for that those state tournament games, which is they're looking to get to the state final, not the Final Four this year, not just the Final Four.
Somerset Berkeley, as we've talked about earlier in the year, was robbed in the state semifinal game last year against Malden Catholic, if I remember correctly. That was the team they played, lost by 2 on a last-second foul call that led to free throws, if my memory doesn't deceive me. Tip-off was pushed forward by Finn Bjork, goes out of bounds, so it will be West Bridgewater ball. Let's meet the starting lineups for these two squads. First, for the visiting West Bridgewater Wildcats, it'll be Armani Lauret and Ben Stapleton as the guards, with Jag Garces and Henry Rismy as the forwards, and Lamar Valentina Jr. as the center. Usual suspects for Somerset Berkeley: McDonald, Finlaw, Pacheco, Bjork, and Dom Taylor. Raiders cycling the perimeter to start. Pacheco, shake and bake, trying to evade Lauret. Now Bjork outside Pacheco. His three will fall.
The ball movement there by Somerset Berkeley was really impressive. I think that's going to be their mojo for today. Ball movement, ball movement, ball movement.
Ball movement has been the name of the game for Bob Slater's boys thus far this season. Bjork the turnover. Bounce pass, Pacheco underneath. Taylor got stripped. That was St. Rismy. Henry St. Rismy will give way for Ben Stapleton. And now to the far side, that's Lorette on the drive against Taylor. Puts it up, that won't go. Ball bobbled around, and it will be white ball. 3-0 Raiders in the early going off the tray from Colton Pacheco, and now McDonald with the mismatched shoes will cross half court. McDonald glued to by Garces will give it up. Bjork, low post. Bjork goes to work, back outside McDonald. A deep three comes up just short, and the rebound for Valentina. Now Lauret trying to get by Pacheco. He can't. He'll retreat to the three-point line. Around the screen, that's St. Rismy. Pulls up from about 10. That won't go, and the skip out. Rebound for Finn Bjork. Bjork for McDonald, who speeds up the floor. Now Taylor starts a cycle. That's Bjork for 3. He got it.
As I said again, the ball movement as well, but also the stingy defense by Finn Bjork and Colton Pacheco to not allow the bucket.
Finlaw the steal against St. Rismy. He'll drive, and that one won't roll. Henry St. Rismy gets it stripped from him. McDonald with the finish.
Forcing turnovers early, and I think West Bridgewater took that timeout to really take a breather and figure out what they're doing wrong.
A timeout indeed for head coach Mike Jones, the first for either side, and this one an 8-0 Somerset Berkeley lead to start. And Carter, over the last few games, it's really been about getting those fast starts for Bob Slater's squad. Yet another example of that tonight.
And that's a reason why they're 9-1 on the season, because those fast starts, they gain momentum throughout the game, and the way they've been scoring and playing, they don't lose it.
Both squads getting a quick discussion in here. Somerset Berkeley came into this game 9-1, undefeated in conference. They sit at the top spot in the SCC. West Bridgewater 4-3 on the year, 3-2 in conference. So both teams above 500. Somerset Berkeley, obviously, with a much more highly touted record. But nonetheless, the competition is going to be there. If you look at the teams on West Bridgewater's schedule, Carter, they had a recent clash where they won by 1 point against Fairhaven. That's a big competitive program down in the South Coast towards the Cape.
For sure, John, and I think for the rest of their season, they're going to look just to keep those conference games the most important. You may play a better team outside the conference, but you really want to win those conference games, not just for bragging rights, but also for higher placement in the state tournament.
That is going to be the focus the rest of the way for Somerset Berkeley, gaining one of those high seeds and making sure they have that home court advantage that they ever so much enjoyed during their run to the Final Four last season. A whistle will give the ball back to Somerset Berkeley with Pacheco set to inbound. Still an 8-0 Raider lead. About 2.5 minutes gone in this first quarter. Finlaw for McDonald. He's got space, elects to pass underneath Bjork. Low post once more, puts it up. Won't go. Skip out board for Armani Lorett. Lorett end to end, high off glass. That one will not fall. And unable to handle it on the baseline was Henry St. Rismy. It's out of bounds and back to Somerset Berkeley possession. Full court press in effect now for the Wildcats. Pacheco will cross half court. He steps into a three, comes up short. Now to Finlaw, the teardrop, that falls.
Great floater there by Max Finlaw, and great way to pick up the rebound off the missed shot by Colt Pacheco.
Raiders full court pressing as well. Wildcats will break it. Lorett trying to find St. Rismy, another interception for McDonald. He'll lead Pacheco for Taylor, almost an alley-oop.
Creative play there by Colton Pacheco and Dom Taylor, looking more like two NBA players out there, unlike even though they're high school players.
Bjork fakes the three for Finlaw in the corner, in and out. And the rebound for Valentina. Now Armani Lorett gets the screen from Valentina. He'll drive and put it in.
Great play there by Valentina. Despite his small stature, he's looking to be the vocal point of this West Bridgewater offense.
Wildcats are on the board. 8-point Somerset Berkeley lead, 10-2. McDonald through the fray, runs into Lorett, and it's a turnover. Here come the Wildcats. A no-look bounce pass for Rismy. He can't finish. Maybe a foul there, but no call. Finlaw trying to bob and weave through the defense. Takes a topple, he got fouled. Looks like that will be on Henry St. Rismy, his first. Two subs out, Armani Lorett and Henry St. Rismy to the bench to be replaced by Quincy Huggins and J.J. McLean. Now Bjork up top, driving on Valentina with the right hand. A lot of contact. Now a lead pass up the floor. Quincy Huggins to gather it, guarded by Pacheco. Garces calling shots, top of the arc. Gets the screen from Valentina, and his three was blocked by Finlaw. McDonald on the charge, pulls up straight away. Strong this time. So a couple of misses from downtown for the Raiders as their offense has slowed down a bit in the last few minutes. Now Huggins. Giving it up. McLean, stop and pop, strong. Rebound for Finlaw, and now McDonald. McDonald, the pass inside with Bjork cutting. Went in and out of his hands. Bjork able to get it out to Taylor. McDonald in the paint. He'll retreat to the three-point line. McDonald shaking and baking. Back for Finlaw on the drive for Bjork. Finn Bjork thought about it. Now Taylor, deep three, strong. Bjork the rebound. So Raiders will keep it, and Bjork will pull up with no one around him. He'll miss as well. Taylor on the offensive board for Pacheco. His layup is good.
The size mismatches inside is really proving costly for the West Bridgewater. Finn Bjork is bullying down in the paint right now.
Huggins end to end. He got it.
Great play there by Huggins, and very impressive shot, especially how big Finn Bjork is, and we know his reputation to be a great defender.
Quincy Huggins perhaps showing himself to be a giant slayer thus far, to go with Carter's phrase. Bjork trying to go cross court, it's picked off. That's Ben Stapleton. Stapleton, the spin move to evade Taylor. Now he'll give it up with McDonald on him for Garces. Garces around a Valentina screen. Inside, a circus layup will not go for J.J. McLean, and back come the Raiders the other way, up by 8. McDonald on the drive outside Pacheco. Raiders slowing it down a bit. Minute and a half to play in the quarter. Finlaw on the drive. He'll finish with the left hand.
Max Finlaw continue his reputation of a hard-fought player as a Dom Taylor gets the steal in the bucket.
A great defensive effort there by Taylor. That one goes off the foot of Huggins. It's another turnover. McDonald all the way. He got it.
Great play, great defense by Dom Taylor. His defense is really proving costly for the West Bridgewater, and I think after this timeout, West Bridgewater on offense has to find some more high percentage shots, because right now they're just trying to put anything up they can. It's really not working.
18-4 in favor of the Raiders as we head towards the end of this first quarter.
Will be available to watch next week on Somerset Access TV and our Blue Raider Studios YouTube channel. Fans, let's hear a round of applause for our media crew covering tonight's game.
Shout out Keegan Hamlet once more. We really are building one of the best sports broadcasting groups in the SCC. So grateful for these opportunities. I'm sure you are as well, Carter.
For sure, John. It's always a pleasure being in the booth with you.
That makes me happy. Back out of the timeout. Raiders break the huddle. West Bridgewater still synthesizing with head coach Mike Jones. And now the Wildcats break the huddle. 1 minute, 6 seconds left in the first quarter. West Bridgewater will inbound with Ben Stapleton. Stapleton gets it into Huggins, and the Wildcats will push the floor quickly. Stop and pop three on the way, won't go. As J.J. McLean struggles to start this one off the bench. Now on the drive and getting fouled was Ben Stapleton. Let's see who this one is on. Looking like it will be on Dom Taylor. That's his first.
Number 13, Dominic Taylor. That's his first on the team. Ben Stapleton at the line, shooting 2.
You have to like the discipline, Carter. Thus far in this game, only 1 foul for the Raiders, and we're pretty much done with quarter 1.
That's always what you want. No fouls, not allowing as much free throws, because if you're playing a high-ranked opponent, they're going to be keen on making free throws, and you got to prevent them from doing that.
Second free throw will fall from Ben Stapleton. 18-5 with under a minute to play in the first quarter. With the Raiders looking to secure their spot in the upcoming MIAA state tournament. Pacheco almost crossed himself up with his own handles. He gets it back. Now Finlaw on the drive outside Pacheco. He'll drive and kick. That's Taylor. Slicing. He'll put it up and get it to go. What a tough finish for Dom Taylor.
Dom Taylor really being a big factor in this game this early, not just with his offense, but his stifling defense.
Huggins across court, finds his fellow subbing in McLean, and there's his first bucket.
Good, great for McLean to get on the scoreboard there after having a rough first quarter.
Finlaw up top, Taylor. Now to the corner, Loro for 3, short. And that will bring quarter number 1 to an end with a 20-7 Somerset Berkeley lead. Back in the booth, JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia with you, and Carter. In that first quarter, Somerset Berkeley's defense was really the name of the game.
Oh yeah, getting steals, getting boards, but also what I liked in the offensive end was Finn Bjork inside with the rebounds, and the size mismatch is really looking not good for the West Bridgewater.
Indeed, and Bjork has been dominating thus far. Obviously, the last game that we called here at the Vet, Carter, Bjork had a double-double. He's looking like he might be right back to another one of those tonight.
Yeah, especially with he's averaging over 12 rebounds a game this season, and teams really have to figure out how to stop him, because when he's on his game, it's kind of really hard to stop him.
Really hard to stop indeed. Let's talk about the other center in Lamar Valentina Jr. He has been great in terms of the pick and roll game, screening, as well as getting passes off early in this one for the Wildcats.
I think that's what they're going to use to stop Finn Bjork. He's really actually been a big presence inside on the defensive end, stealing rebounds from Finn Bjork.
Let's see how this battle of centers and size and skill goes the rest of the way. Let's head down to the court for quarter number 2 on Somerset Access TV and SB Blue Raider Studios. Pacheco inbounding to McDonald as the second quarter gets underway. 8 minutes until halftime here in Somerset. Taylor straight away 3. That one goes.
Dom Taylor off to his hot start again, dude. When this kid is on, it's really impressive to watch.
Almost losing it his feet was Garces. He'll break half court and now give it over. St. Rizmi, his bounce pass got taken away. Fast break chance for Max Finlaw the other way. Puts it in.
Looks like Somerset Berkeley has come up with a little bit different defensive game plan. It proves working as Brent McDonald gets a steal in the bucket.
First Dom Taylor, now Brendan McDonald. The Raiders all over West Bridgewater on the defensive end. Another stop and pop 3 from McLean will fall. J.J. McLean from downtown.
J.J. McLean starting to heat up here. Looked like he got his confidence back after the not so good first quarter he had.
Now Finlaw in the corner. He'll drive. Got it stripped from him. Now trying to find Laura on the cut. Laura outside McDonald. Bang! Brendan McDonald from downtown and a 20-point Raider lead here in the first half, 30-10.
Brendan McDonald has finally got one of his real first buckets on the board, and when he starts heating up like Finn Bjork, as I said before, it's really hard to stop him.
Trying to find a lane inside is Stapleton. He'll kick it out. Huggins won't go. McDonald, the bounce pass, Taylor. Taylor for the cutting, Pacheco. Oh, almost the finish. West Bridgewater will push the other way. Stapleton stops in the paint, spins. He got blocked by Lauro. Now McDonald the other way. Got fouled. Initially, it looks like the foul will be on J.J. McLean.
Wildcats foul number 33, J.J. McLean. His first on the team. Subbing in for Somerset Berkeley, number 15, Finn Bjork, and number 21, Alex Crook.
4 subs into the game, a couple of returning starters, and a few more additions. Nick Navin will see his first time tonight, as well as Thomas Polidori. That pass went straight to the referee. He caught it, would have gone out of bounds either way. So West Bridgewater ball, and inbounding is Polidori. Polidori inbounds to Armani Lauret, who's back on the floor. Lauret finds McLean. His stop and pop got fouled. Finn Bjork going to be called for that one. He was a bit frustrated after that call, Carter.
For sure, John. And it looks like West Bridgewater is starting to lean towards McLean to lead their offense, because despite what I said before about him having a rough first quarter, he's really picking up his game here in the second.
McLean will watch the first free throw drop. Cutting the Raider lead down to 19. And make it 18. 30-12. McDonald to lead the charge for the Raiders. He's glued to by Lauret. Now Crook on the drive. That one won't go. Rebound for the center for this West Bridgewater squad in Valentina. And once again, on the other end, consistent as ever here in the second quarter is J.J. McLean. He's got to be close to 10 points. Lauro outside McDonald, and now Taylor. Taylor will trade with his captain as the Raiders cycle the perimeter. Bjork, a 3. That one wide right. Armani Lauret the other way for the Wildcats as they continue to chip into the lead that was built by the Raiders in the first quarter. Valentina Jr. working on Lauro, can't finish. Alex Crook the rebound. Alex's brother Lucas in attendance tonight as Bjork will finish on the other end. Carter. Lucas was part of back-to-back state championship teams for the Somerset Berkeley field hockey program while he was here. And a corner three from West Bridgewater will not fall out of the hands of Nick Naven.
Great play there great defense there by the Somerset Berkeley Raiders, and it's really looking like they're picking it up on the on the boards on the defensive side of the ball. But I think Coach Slater is going to be pointing out at the halftime is I think the Raiders have to be a little bit more efficient on their shooting.
Efficient shooting is usually part of the mantra for this Raider squad. Tonight, just having their struggles at points. Taylor looking to change that. Comes up strong. Bjork fighting with two Wildcats for the rebound, and it looks like it will be West Bridgewater ball with a foul on top of it on Finn Bjork. Second foul for Bjork already. Bob Slater is probably going to need to be cautious with his center the rest of the way.
I think I know you love about Finn Bjork is, but that bench with Jacob Lauro and Kellen Langlois, two very capable players to fill in that spot for Finn Bjork.
Crook, the rebound off the miss. He'll push it for McDonald on the other end, and one. And Brendan McDonald will head to the free throw line looking to complete the three-point play.
Great little hesitation there by Brendan McDonald to draw the player to make the foul.
Carter and I were talking about Brendan McDonald before this one. A very highly skilled multi-sport athlete. It really is anybody's guess whether or not he chooses to pursue football or basketball at the collegiate level once he graduates. Three-point play will not go for McDonald. 34-14, back to a 20-point Raider lead. West Bridgewater in need of a jolt on the offensive end to get back in this one. Far side, St. Risme will give it up. Armani Lauret calling shots, gets the screen, tries to pull the three. It got knocked out of his hands. Here comes Dom Taylor the other way with the finish.
Great little move by Dom Taylor there, drawing it to his right hand and putting it back on his left for the bucket.
Excellent ball control by number 13 inside Lauret. No retreat as McDonald guards him. Swung to the far end of where Lauret was. And now Stapleton back for Lauret. Guarded by Taylor, a stop and pop, in and out. And the offensive struggles continue for West Bridgewater. Crook on the drive, got fouled. Looking like the foul will be on Nick Naven. And that is the case.
Wildcat foul number 14, Nick Naven. His first, team's fourth. Alex Crook at the line, shooting two.
Crook at the charity stripe will make the first. Couple of check-ins, one for West Bridgewater, two for the Raiders. Jag Garces back in for the Wildcats, and then Colton Pacheco and Max Finlaw return for the Raiders to give Brendan McDonald and Finn Bjork a break. So a small ball lineup on the court right now for the Raiders, and Pacheco, Taylor, Crook, Finlaw, and Lauro. Long inbound pass goes to McLean. He runs right into a double team, has to give it up. Stapleton. Ben Stapleton on the drive. Foul will be on the floor, so that bucket will not count.
That was actually a pretty good foul there by Alex Crook because it looks like he was going to drive in and get the bucket, but I think throughout the game, Coach Slater's be saying you can't be taking those type of fouls.
Trying to work on Crook was Garces, and now the other way. Taylor, the finish on a quasi alley-oop. It's 40-14 Raiders with under 3 to play in the half. Finlaw knocks that one out of bounds as it headed towards St. Risme.
Great pass there by Alex Crook. The court vision was really impressive there, and Dom Taylor really heating up in this second quarter.
Looks like Brady Carpenter about to check in as well for Somerset Berkeley. Lauret goes outside Stapleton. Stapleton crosses up Taylor, looking cross court for Lorette, knocked out of bounds by Max Finlaw. I've praised Finlaw at points this year, Carter, especially on the defensive end. He is a Swiss Army knife of a player that you have to love if you're head coach Bob Slater.
As you said before, the Swiss Army knife type player, but he's really just the most complete player, putting up shots from deep, going and getting deep into the board, getting deep inside buckets. I think Coach Slater loves a player like that because you're really going to need him in tight situations.
Pacheco the miss. Back the other way come the Wildcats. Armani Lorette goes up top. That's J.J. McLean. My goodness, I don't know how I would have reacted if he made that one, but the heat check from McLean. Back the other way, and a finish from about 7 feet for Colton Pacheco.
Smooth mid-range bucket from Colt Pacheco. Little Sean Livingston-like sixth man of the year mainly for the Golden State Warriors.
Foul on the floor. Foul's going to be on Colton Pacheco.
His first team's fourth. Coming in for Somerset Berkeley, number 10, Calvin Langlois.
Both teams approaching the bonus in terms of fouls. Inbound to Lorette. He'll miss. Rebound for Langlois, and now Pacheco to push the floor. Colton Pacheco nearly got stripped by St. Rizmi. Now the bounce pass for Crook, and he'll put it in.
Gritty play there by Colt Pacheco. Really a no give up play, and also great vision to give it to Alex Crook for the easy lay.
A now 30-point Raider lead as this game is starting to be reminiscent of our last broadcast. Inside, cannot finish on Finn Bjork. Jack Garces with the miss. Finlaw the other way. He got it.
What I've really been impressed with this Somerset Berkeley team in the first half is they've been really focused on finding those high percentage shots, and they're really clicking on those shots, and that's how you're going to win games.
Now Garces trying to shake Crook. Gets a screen from St. Rizmi. That didn't help much. McLean for St. Rizmi. His three comes in and out. Pacheco the rebound. Less than 20 seconds left in this half. Finlaw to the corner. Langlois bobbled it a bit. Back for Max Finlaw. Finlaw driving baseline for Pacheco on the cut and the layup.
As I said before, one of those high percentage shots, and they're really just capitalizing on the opportunities that they're given.
McLean at the buzzer will miss. And that will conclude this first half of play. Back up here on the walking track. JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia with you for Somerset Access TV and SB Blue Raider Studios. And Carter, consistency is key with this Raiders squad. They've been consistent over the last few games against some very difficult opponents, but they just keep on coming.
As I said before about those high percentage shots, they're just capitalizing on everything they're given. As for the Wildcats, they're lacking the high percentage shots, and that's ultimately why they're losing big in this game.
And Carter, if you're heading into that locker room as head coach Mike Jones, what's your message to your Wildcats? You're playing against a team that's clearly on a march back to prominence. How do you motivate your players in a situation like this, down by 30 plus?
You got to give them a situation where there's nothing to lose, you know? They know that they may not come back in this game, but just play like it's your last game ever and see what happens.
I think that's great advice for any athlete in any sport. Play like it's your last game ever. Let's see if the Raiders can play like it's their last game ever in the second half. Back in a flash here on Somerset Access TV and SB Blue Raider Studios. Back inside the Veterans Memorial Gym, also known as the Vet, JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia with you for SB Blue Raider Studios and Somerset Access TV. And Carter, a 34-point lead for the Raiders going into the second half. What do you think was Bob Slater's message in the locker room during halftime?
I think his message was it's a 0-0 game, especially with experienced coaches like him. He always wants his team to think it's an even game, so they encourage to play harder.
And Carter, who do you think is going to have to play the hardest for the Raiders the rest of the way if they want to come out of the Vet victorious with such a large lead?
I think based off the talent they have on their team, it's a collective team effort.
A collective team effort indeed, Carter. Let's talk a little bit about that team effort. You and I were discussing it during halftime. There's scoring coming from all sides of the bench for Bob Slater's boys.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where it's coming from, as it doesn't really matter where it's coming from. As long as the ball goes in the basket, it's all that really matters. And based off the first half, you got Pacheco, McDonald, and Dom Taylor really leading the charge with the scoring.
Let's see who leads the charge for both squads the rest of the way as we head down to the court for the second half here on SB Blue Raider Studios and Somerset Access TV. Eight minutes back up on the clock. 16 more minutes to be played tonight on a bone-chilly evening here in Somerset.
Basketball game, West Bridgewater has earned the win 32-24.
West Bridgewater will inbound to start the second half. And it looks like it will be an inbound from Stapleton to Lorette. Wow, I'm psychic. Lorette across half court. As West Bridgewater looks to bring down this big Raider lead. Taylor the other way makes it grow even more. Now a 36-point Somerset Berkeley advantage, 50-14.
Dom Taylor continuing his dominance from the first half on both sides of the ball.
Taylor and McDonald tied for the team lead with 11 points in the first half for the Raiders. Leading the scoring for West Bridgewater was J.J. McLean, 8 points off the bench. Now Taylor starts a perimeter swing. Low post, Bjork back outside for Finlaw. Somerset Berkeley taking their time. No rush with such a lead. Taylor the alley-oop, and Bjork almost had it. Perhaps the Raiders will be looking for a lot of showmanship the rest of the way. Pacheco the steal as the pass head towards St. Rizmi. Now Bjork to the corner, McDonald for Finlaw. Max Finlaw back for Colton Pacheco. Pacheco, the spin move outside for 0-0. And now Bjork. Great ball movement by the Raiders, but no open shooters yet. 12 on the shot clock. Pacheco the three. Short. Bjork tried to tip the board out, but it will get right into the hands of Armani Lorette. Lorette for St. Rizmi, and that one will fall. Not sure if it's a 2 or a 3. His foot might have been on the line. They're going to count it as a 3. 50-17 Raiders. St. Rizmi the steal. He'll bounce pass for Garces, and that's a finish for Jack Garces. And the Raider lead starting to dwindle. Almost down to 30 again. McDonald gives it up for Finlaw. Now in the paint, Taylor outside, and a foul called. Foul's going to be on Armani Lorette. That's the third foul in this one for the Wildcat point guard, as Bjork will go off glass for the finish.
Despite the bucket there by Finn Bjork, I really like the start that the West Bridgewater Bandits really had in this first little segment of the third quarter. They've really brought a little bit more intensity. I think Coach Jones has really, his pep talks worked as they make the three right there by Stapleton.
Ben Stapleton, back-to-back three-pointers for West Bridgewater. One from St. Rizmi, one from Stapleton. Finlaw trying to match, he will.
Great shot there by Max Finlaw. As we said before, that Swiss Army knife, and it's really proving in the start of this third quarter.
33-point Raider lead, 55-22. Stapleton against McDonald. Going inside, Valentina can't finish. Brendan McDonald, the bounce pass picked off by Garces. Garces looking up the floor. Ben Stapleton was the only one in the area. It will be Raider ball as it goes past the baseline.
Despite the missed pass there by Garces, I really like the more tightened up defense that the Wildcats are playing.
Pacheco slashing through. Now drives straight away inside, can't finish. Rebound for St. Rizmi. That one going out of bounds. Looking like it will stay with West Bridgewater. That is the case. 4.5 to play here in quarter number 3. Armani Loret gets the screen from St. Rismy. Runs into two Raider defenders, gives it up Garces. Baseline drive, his pass picked off. And now the lead pass, McDonald for Finlaw, and the right-hand finish. The Raiders, Carter, just running like a well-oiled machine despite any adversity they might be facing in this one.
Nothing really phases this Somerset Berkeley team. I think the way they've been coached and the way they've been taught has really taught them that no matter the score, there's always a chance that you can come back, or the team that is down that can come back and really impact the game.
Now Taylor, the deep three. That one will not drop. Here come the Wildcats. Still down by 33. Singleton, the shot fake, a step in, will fall.
Great shot there by Stapleton, and it looks like more Wildcat players are starting to heat up and score buckets.
McDonald trying for the circus finish. He won't get it. St. Rismy, the tip up for Garces. Garces puts it up and one. Flex on him, Jack Garces. And he will head to the line with 3:18 to play, looking to cut this Raider lead down even further.
This, as I said, this Wildcat team's really starting to heat up, and maybe they may not come back in this game, but it's something to look forward to as they're playing, as their upcoming games.
Garces at the line looking to complete the three-point play, and he will. Down to a 28-point Raider lead, 57-29. Taylor on the drive, nearly dunked it, but he'll finger roll it instead.
Great play there by Dom Taylor. Really a humble player, and really showed there. He really could have went down for the slam, but instead he does a finger roll, showing respect to the other team.
Three subs about to check in for the Raiders. Dos Santos, Langlois, and Crook. Underneath Valentina for Garces, looking for another bucket. That one goes wide right. Fast break chance, that's Pacheco. The other way, can't finish. Finlaw to back him up, and Max got fouled.
Great play there by Max Finlaw on the board there, and really to draw the foul on the Colton Pacheco miss.
That's the second foul on Henry St. Rismy. And Max Finlaw looking to add two more to the Raiders' total. First one falls. As here come the subs. Dos Santos and Alex Crook checking in to replace Dom Taylor and Finn Bjork. Quincy Huggins checking back in for West Bridgewater. He will replace Lamar Valentina Jr. Finlaw will make the second. Carter, it seems every time it looks like the Wildcats might be gaining some momentum, Somerset finds a way to slam that door shut.
And it doesn't really matter who's on the court for the Raiders. I mean, they have some rotational guys in that are really impacting this game, and it really shows that the depth, how much a depth of a team has that, and it really shows how good the team is.
Henry St. Rismy from downtown, as he tries to break out of the funk he's experienced in this one. St. Rismy was making a lot of three-pointers and warm-ups. Dos Santos starts a perimeter swing. And now Crook working in the paint, gives it up for the cutting Pacheco, and Colton will make no mistake.
Colton Pacheco kind of having a rough start to this third quarter, but I think that floater really boosts his confidence just a smidge.
Pacheco had nearly 10 in the first half. That put him at second in scoring on the Raiders in half number one. St. Rismy tied up with Alex Crook. Jump ball with the possession arrow favoring Somerset Berkeley. Jacob Loro back into the game to give Pacheco a rest. With the Raiders back up by 30, now 31, 63-32. Crook for Loro. And now Langlois. Callum Langlois nearly lost it. Back for Loro. His mid-range, strong. Offensive board. Langlois tries to put it up. That won't go. Wildcats the other way. Stapleton in the paint, goes outside Garces, now to the corner, J.J. McLean, strong. Langlois for Crook, and now Dos Santos. Gives it up for the cutting McDonald, nearly had it taken from him by St. Rizmi. Now back up top, Crook on the drive, goes off glass, no go. Here comes Garces the other way, the bounce pass for Stapleton, who will finish with the left hand.
Really positive possession there by the Wildcats, and I think I like what I'm seeing from them. They're really not, despite the scoreline, they're really not giving up.
Outside Langlois, his three comes up short. Garces, with that never give up attitude, finds McLean, and this time he rights the wrong. J.J. McLean lighting it up from downtown in the last few quarters, under 15 seconds to play in quarter three. Lauro, the up and under will fall.
It's what you said before. Despite the Wildcats picking up their play, the Somerset Berkeley Raiders are not letting up.
Huggins with the miss on the three as quarter three will come to an end. Back up here on the walking track, which is our booth tonight. JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia with you. And Carter, the story just continues to be the same. West Bridgewater will deal a blow from time to time, but Somerset Berkeley, like a seasoned prize fighter, just will not give up.
As a lot of people describe sports outside of boxing, it's like a boxing match. It's just constant back and forth scoring.
And the back and forth scoring has been important for both sides. You have to love the effort, Carter, especially in this second and third quarter from players like Henry St. Rizmi and others for the Wildcats.
Yeah, they've really picked up their play in this third quarter, and McLean also piggybacking off his hot second quarter performance.
Let's see if players like McLean and St. Rizmi can get West Bridgewater back in this one, but right now the outlook's pretty gloom. A 28-point Raider lead, 65-37. Let's head back down to the court for the fourth and final quarter here on Somerset Access TV and SB Blue Raider Studios.
You're doing good.
8 more minutes to be played here at the vet. Raiders in the driver's seat, 65-37. Stapleton, top of the arc, calling shots. Gives away to McLean, and now Garces. He'll drive on Crook. Garces puts it up with the right hand. No drop, but he will draw the foul, so another trip to the charity stripe for Jack Garces.
Great drive there by Garces. I've really liked his performance here in the third quarter with that no-quit attitude, and he's really shown the ability that he has.
Garces will miss the first. Only 26 seconds gone here in the fourth and final quarter. Garces will make the second. 65-38 in favor of the Raiders. A 25-plus point advantage. Lauro into the paint. And a travel called. Gotta like the defense there from Henry St. Rizmi, Carter.
Absolutely, John. And what I like out of this halftime break is they've really held the Raiders in check in terms of scoring. They scored, what, 50 in the first half? Now they've held them to only 15 in the third quarter.
Stifling the Raiders' defense is the best way to beat them. Huggins looking back outside as he drove baseline. Pacheco picked it off. Colton Pacheco with a big smile on his face will give way to Dos Santos. Back for Pacheco. Getting the screen from Kevin Dos Santos, and now the perimeter swing. Pacheco and a double team gives it up. Dos Santos nearly got stripped by Garces. It skips out to Crook, who will go up with it and finish.
Tough finish there by Crook, and I hope he's okay after that made bucket.
Crook took a hard fall to the floor there. Looks like he's okay. And a round of applause for him as he rises back to his feet. Under 7 to play in this one, 67-38. A 29-point Raider lead, and Crook will get a rest now after that hard fall. He'll be replaced by Zach King. Garces driving on King, lost it but got it back. Now a three on the way from the corner, will not fall. Came off the hands of Navin. Pacheco the other way, tough layup, won't go. Rebound chance for Langlois, and he'll get it in.
Great bucket there by Kellen Langlois. Really not to give up after getting blocked on the first shot. He regains his rebound and puts up a nice bucket.
A nice second chance bucket for Langlois. Garces stops in the paint, goes outside. Navin giving it up for J.J. McLean. McLean driving, that's blocked by Langlois. Pacheco looking for the fast break, gives it up to Santos. Catches it underneath, puts it up, won't go. St. Rizmi the rebound with 6:10 to play in the game. With his team down by 31, St. Rizmi with another three.
St. Rizmi really heating up here in the second half with a couple of three-point bombs.
King outside Pacheco, comes up short. Rebound for Nick Navin. Navin to push the floor, finding McLean. Back for Nick Navin, and now St. Rizmi. St. Rizmi gets stripped by Pacheco, but Colton couldn't keep it in bounds.
Returning to the Raider lineup, Alex Crook and Brady Carpenter.
Clock now running as well in this game with under 6 to play. Unless Wedge Bridgewater goes on a big run, this will probably be the case the rest of the way with a running clock. McLean, another three, comes off the front rim. Crook to push the floor for Langlois. Back to Crook as he cuts in, put the shot up, but the foul. Looks like a whistle prevents it. Still trying to figure out what that whistle was for. Might have been a timeout, perhaps, for Mike Jones. I think that is the case. So nonetheless, the shot will not count. 69-41 with 5:08 to play. And Carter, I think Mike Jones in this situation just needs a calm down moment for his squad as the Raiders have started to put this game to bed early in the fourth quarter.
It's clearly shown they put it to bed as in they're putting the guys with not as much playing time in. And as for the Wildcats, I think they're looking just to finish this game strong and carry the momentum that the little amount of momentum they do have into their next game.
A group of 5 bench players out there for the Raiders. Carpenter, Hansen, Crook, Dos Santos, and King. And a mix of bench players for West Bridgewater as well. Colin O'Neill getting some of his first action today, along with Colin Mayer for the Wildcats. Crook had it stripped from him. Polidori had it on the ground. Crook got it back from him, and a foul called. Clock still running with under 5 to play.
Wildcats on number 0, Thomas Polidori, his first on the team.
Zach King will be eager to handle the inbound here. He gets it in to Crook. Crook, the bounce pass, Hansen driving baseline, can't finish. Dos Santos trying to fight for the board, it lands in the hands of Polidori. Polidori stops at the three-point line, going back outside. Mayer. Now O'Neill will cycle the perimeter as it goes back for Thomas Polidori. Polidori trying to do a switch with Mayer as he heads toward the basket. Foul called. Foul's going to be on Dos Santos, his second, as we go under 4 to play with the running clock. 69-41 Raiders. Inbound goes to McLean, who can't finish in the defensive board for Zach King. Crook speeding across half court as Polidori was glued to him, tries to find King. Zach King can't handle it, ball's on the deck, and a foul called. Foul's going to be on Crook, so the Wildcats will get ball here. 3.5 to play. Thomas Polidori for Mayer. Now O'Neill goes to the corner. Nick Navin back outside. Another three-pointer try will not fall for Colin O'Neill. And a whistle away from the ball will keep possession with West Bridgewater as we now go under 3 minutes left in this one with the running clock.
Subbing in for the Raiders, number 31, Jaden Ray.
Carter, if you're Mike Jones, what are the positives you can take away from this game for West Bridgewater?
I think a positive you can definitely come out with is that they played some good defense in this second half, really forcing the Raiders to only have about 20 points in the second half compared to the 50 that they let up in the first.
Raiders scoring has definitely decreased here in the second half, as the scoring has increased for West Bridgewater. Colin Mayer at the line for the Wildcats. He'll miss the first. Somerset Berkeley will go to 10-1 with this victory in a season where they've really had their eyes on the prize since day one, and that prize sits somewhere up in the Boston area, awaiting them in the MIAA Final Four. Last Final Four was at UMass Boston. Rayoum, the three, bit strong. Board for Navin, and he'll push Nick Navin to the corner. O'Neal had to give it up. J.J. McLean back for O'Neal. Driving on Dos Santos. He can't finish. Nice defense by Caven. And now Caden Rayoum the other way for King, and now Carpenter. Carpenter finding Dos Santos in the paint. The nice bounce pass for Hansen on the cut. Binocular emotes from Finn Bjork and Brendan McDonald on the bench. That's a nice passing play by the Raiders.
Caven Dos Santos, great vision there on the court, and I didn't really expect that of him, especially for a big kid like him. Usually not as much as a passer, but that was really impressive play.
Rayoum, the crossover, finds Dos Santos as we go under a minute to play in this one. West Bridgewater with this loss will drop to 4-3. Or should I say 4-4? It will be 3-3 in conference. Nice bucket in the waking moments for Polidori. 71-44 in favor of the Raiders. Dos Santos for Hansen as SB will play clock killer. Only about a 3-second difference between shot and game clock, and the steal for J.J. McLean, having himself quite a game on the road. He'll finish once again. Most likely the final possession. Carter, your big takeaways from this one overall?
I think it was a good performance by Somerset Berkeley. I mean, they came to do business and they got it done.
Business as usual for the Raiders as the final buzzer sounds. A 71-46 victory for the home squad tonight. One more time back in the booth with you. JJ, Sylvia, Carter, Sylvia with you, and Carter. Somerset Berkeley. Once more, we've been saying it all season, they've been dominating. It almost seems like the competition sometimes isn't enough for the Raiders.
I think the competition will never be enough for them, especially the way they've been playing. But once you get in the state tournament, the competition really rises, and I think they'll be ready for it.
A lot of big games coming up for the Raiders the rest of the way. But for now, Carter, Sylvia, and I will step aside as we try to get out of this cold and back to our car. For our entire SB Blue Raider Studios crew, the Somerset Access TV crew, my partner Carter, Sylvia, and our camera person Lillian, I hope you have a wonderful night from here inside the vet.